Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you being here. Today, we're gonna dive into this. What do women who are 35, 40, 45 plus need in terms of fitness and nutrition? How does it change? So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and send this video to anyone that you think may find it helpful. So let's dive right in. It's really common for me to hear from my female clients and friends and family, everything changes on the other side of 40. And obviously we're talking about perimenopause, menopause, and all the changes that come along with that. So often what you'll see is we start to experience some changes just in terms of like perhaps our body composition, little things too, just in terms of like energy. You could start to feel a little bit draggy, sleep is disrupted. And I often hear from women like, oh, things are just not the same. Like I'm noticing more belly fat, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a list of things that we could discuss here. So often what happens is we feel like, well, if these changes are happening, then there's got to be some kind of hack, right? Like what am I not doing? What do I need to change? Maybe I have to like cut out carbs. Maybe I shouldn't eat any more sugar. So all of these are, our minds kind of start to go a little bit crazy with like trying to manage this and cope with the changes that we're experiencing. And here's the thing, the fundamentals still apply. So what should you be doing? You should be strength training. You should be in the gym and you should be lifting weights. I know that cardio, like for example, running is very accessible and there is a place for it. Running is like my first love, and I get it. It's one of those things where you just put on the runners, go for a run, get some fitness, and it's great. It's important for your aerobic fitness. It's important for some people for their mental health. But in terms of like managing, putting on, preserving that tissue, running isn't it. It has to be getting into the gym and doing some strength training. We need to be prioritizing protein, maybe even more so than we did, in our 20s and early 30s. So this is always such a, it feels like a loaded discussion when we talk about requirements for protein, because it just seems to also really be attached to people's values in terms of like, how they want to eat. So, there is a range. So protein, obviously there isn't a one size fits all. There are some recommendations. The recommendations I find tend to come in on the side of this is like your minimums. This is what you need to just survive. But if we're looking at thriving and we're looking particularly at, women as they start to experience these changes and potentially look at like losing muscle and lean body mass as we get older, I would say that the need for more protein becomes even more important. So if you are someone that wants to sit on the lower end of things, that's absolutely a personal choice. But in terms of like how it might impact your muscle and your muscle retention and your ability to like build tissue and preserve it, it's something to think about if there is a way for you to bump it up a little bit. Whole foods are obviously a really important piece, so that doesn't change. We're really kind of looking at these healthy habits that we should, hopefully have in our 20s and 30s, and just make sure that like we're looking like, do we have those basics dialed in? Sleep, having a solid night routine, making sure we're getting 7 to 9 hours so that we can recover and rest, recharge, and then your non-exercise activity. Daily walking is really important. I've said this before, you cannot offset 8 hours of sitting with a 30 or 45 minute workout. So if you are just like desk bound all day, we're looking to try to get up and move. We're looking to take those exercise snacks, those breaks where we just get up and walk, do a quick set of 50 squats in a minute. There are so many different ways that you could get some of that movement in that would make a big difference. So basically to answer the question, to respond to, what is it that I need to be doing different? There are no short-term like fixes. There are no quick hacks. It's really looking at those fundamentals. And the thing is they probably apply now more than ever. The other thing that I have to bring it up is the daily drinking, the daily glasses of wine or the binge drinking on the weekend. That's going to be hitting you harder than ever. So, or not. I mean, maybe you just don't realize how much better you would feel if you didn't do it. But that's going to have a really big impact on your, how you feel on that during perimenopause and menopause. We just start to feel that alcohol a little bit differently, and certainly it impacts our body's ability to build muscle, retain tissue, how we metabolize our food, and therefore store body fat, etc. So those fundamentals, those pieces, those have to be looked at. Really, a big part of managing these changes that we're experiencing through perimenopause and menopause is through lifestyle. And obviously there is a time and a place to, check in with your doctor and stuff. They're probably going to want to make sure that hopefully that you've got these pieces lined up as well before kind of moving to some other protocols. But that's your hack. So it isn't cutting out carbs, it isn't cutting out fats or sugar or anything like that. It's a balanced approach. Of course, there are some there can be, what's the word I'm looking for, caveats. If you have an allergy or something like that, that might, have some impact on your food selection. But for the most part, we're looking for a nice balance between protein, carbs, and healthy fats, and dialing in all of those other pieces. Hopefully the answers that you were looking for are in this video. Feel free to leave a comment, ask any questions, and like I said, send this video to anyone that you think just needs to hear it. Thanks, guys.